Hey guys, so here bringing you another video. Welcome back to Challenge You Spectate, and today's a little bit different because we're actually on a different server. We're on EU Northeast, and as you all know, if you've been watching the channel recently, we are leveling an EU Northeast account, and we're very soon, maybe in the next month or so, going to kick off the Smurf series of the year on a different server. So EU Northeast is a server I've personally never played on. And there's many people that say there's different stories about the server, the different quality and all that stuff. And everybody can say about it, but it's going to be experiencing it myself to actually see if there's a difference, you know? Yeah, I know of people that were like low diamond players in EU West, but they got like Grandmaster on EU Northeast. All these stories exist, but very soon we'll be able to experience it for our own. Today though, this player Egypt 1v9. Not sure if they're a known player or anything, but they are currently the rank, on me recording this, they're the rank 1 player on EU Northeast. They're playing Fiora, who, by the way, I believe is getting buffs next patch, so it could say Fiora is in need of buffs randomly. And they're against a Camille, who also next patch is getting nerfs finally. I don't think the nerfs are fully going to stop Camille being a thing, by the way. From what I've seen, it's a W nerf, and that doesn't seem to be 100% why Camille is complete meta right now. But that's what they're nerfing, and we'll see how it goes. So again, 2 challenger players. You can see Fiora level 1 just going all in on the Camille, and the reason probably being the Camille can't really reposition that well or get away. No flash, she's got ignite. So even though the ignite at level 1 is scary, and you'd think, oh god, you don't want to fight that, Fiora's also quite scary. And by the way, just worth noting, the ignite on the Camille is really annoying. To make it clear, it can... Top lane is... The reason why it works, is what I'm trying to say, is because top lane is relatively a forgotten lane. If you camp a Camille, yes, she has her E for mobility, but that isn't really going to stop a jungler just keep going top lane. She's going to get killed eventually. But a lot of the time, junglers just don't care about top. So that's why she can get away with it a lot of the time. But in the pure 1v1... what it gives is Camille is not the strongest early game champion, but the ignite basically gives her a bit of an early game, and it makes enemies not go that all in on her where normally they would be. If she had flash, doesn't have ignite, oh, I can fight a Camille. The reason why they don't fight her is because, oh god, I'm scared of the ignite. What I like so far with this Fiora is you guys can kind of tell she's not scared of the ignite. And you can see, boom, gets the kill, lovely play. And again, Camille can't do anything about it. She has no flash to reposition well. Fiora picks up the kill straight away. So this is the difference of playing scared against an ignite early game and just not really caring. Well, calculated aggression, you could say. This Fiora's played it so far basically perfectly. And it's really cool to see. Again, I love, as you guys know, League of Legends as a game. I love watching good play happen. And we are right now witnessing good play. Like, that's just what we're watching. So Camille, in her first death and then going back, by the way, has bought a longsword, and that's it. So no sustain. And remember, the replays, yes, are still bugged, unsurprisingly. Bard from bot lane roaming to mid gets the Annie. But yeah, replay's still bugged. And here we go. So again, the all-in pickaxe gets the slow. And obviously, Fiora with the W can counter some Camille things, but just even landing the W damage is more sometimes than people think. And right there, a little bit of an all-in trade. Fiora gets the Camille low enough that she has to go back, especially that she's bought no sustain. If she stayed under the tower, she'll just get dove. Fiora can dive champions. She's got decent mobility with a Q. The W also can just screw the Camille over. So the Camille's gone. By the time she gets back to the wave, look at the farm difference. Nearly triple farm so far the Fiora has. But a tower plate probably is going to be done, maybe. Maybe even a missing cannon minion, which again in Challenger, well anyway, is a big deal. But in Challenger, where people are landing farm consistently, losing out on early cannons are really big. And as you all know, that's one of my biggest weaknesses. I probably missed thousands of gold in League of Legends due to not hitting cannon minions. And finally, again, the Camille has just bought sustain, so she does have that at least for her. You can see the Fiora is just so aggressive. That's so aggressive. And a natural counter, by the way, I think. Obviously, Camille, she can use her E and then ultimate. If this Fiora is really good, she should never really get hit by a Camille ultimate. She can parry it. And, it's a pretty, I would say, easy thing to parry because it's such a big wind-up as an animation. So we'll see if that plays into any effect, in this game. But again, Fiora is near enough. One more minion, she's double farm, right? Or near enough double farm. That's kind of crazy. By the way, yes, if we haven't really paid attention, it's a Yone jungle. I don't think Yone is really a jungler, but, you know, he's playing it in Challenger EU Northeast. He's looking to escape, which is good, but they are chasing him down. Evelyn, obviously, on the enemy team, he is dead. Evelyn, very strong solo queue jungler, arguably too strong in some areas. I don't know, it's a bit weird. But anyway, Fiora hits level 6. Camille... Again, this is the problem with top lane, right? And why it's not a very popular role. So far this game, it's just been a pure 1v1 top laner. Fiora has advantage early. She still scales really well. Does a Camille outscale a Fiora in a 1v1? Probably not. They're about even, I'd say. The only way this Camille gets back into this game in top lane, and it's legit true... Okay, 2 ways. 3 ways. One way, Fiora makes massive mistakes, like going for dives and she just does it weirdly, she gets killed. Okay, that gets Camille back into the game. But when you're in Challenger, that's less likely to happen. So that's one way. Number 2, Fiora decides, I'm really far ahead, my team is struggling, I'm going to go roam and see if I can make plays. And if those plays don't really work out for Fiora, but Camille stays in top lane, she can farm her way back into the game. That's number 2. And then the only other third way, so I'd say 1 and 2 are unlikely. The third way is the jungler. That's like basically it. In a pure 1v1, if this Fiora doesn't make any real big mistakes moving forward, the Camille simply will not catch up. Fiora is still double farm right now. Like technically over double farm by 1. But like, that's the problem with top, is it's so 1v1 orientated. And because champions are built also to scale, there's very little you can do. Like sometimes, for instance, and I've used this example many times, and I know the champion, again, his scaling isn't as bad as it used to be, but he's still not a late game scaling champion. Renekton. He's supposed to win early games. Okay, if you're in this instance, let's say you're a Camille, you're against a Renekton, and the Renekton beats you early. You're like, okay, at least you can hold on to the fact that I know I outscale that Renekton. But when it's 2 champions that have relatively even scaling, like both of them scale really well, it sucks when you get behind because you're just like, what can I do? And again, this Fiora's played this lane, I would say, near enough perfectly. Like, very good aggression at level 1 that kind of put the Camille on the back foot straight away. Then getting the early kill that the Camille I don't think was expecting. So as a top lane, how to play the lane versus Camille, this has practically been the best way to play the lane. Don't let her use the aggression of Ignite. You be aggressive. And then she's on the back foot because then she's always scared of, oh, I don't have flash. And it's been great to watch. You know, the game itself for red team and blue team, sorry, isn't going very good. The Fiora's team is losing badly. Annie is out farming but has died twice. And you can see Camille damage, by the way. It's still Camille damage. But Fiora's looking for a bit of trade back. Does get hit by the tower, maybe a little bit too much. But is getting that little extra Q in. Just making sure the trade isn't going completely in the Camille's favour. And that's good to see. I'd maybe expect for a gank. Again, Evelyn now has hit level 6. You're really overextended as Fiora. You're also quite low health. So if I was a Fiora, I would start expecting a gank. And that's obviously something that you can do, is expect ganks. And it's a Bard. So this Bard has massively roamed already this game. You know, his name is support diff in full caps. Also an Evelyn. And it does seem to be there's a little bit of a roaming gank squad with the Bard and the Evelyn. Maybe their duo. Wouldn't surprise me. With their names also in full caps and their names being slightly toxic. It wouldn't surprise me if the Evelyn and Bard is duo and they kind of do roaming ganks every game. But, well, I say they might be duo, but this is a challenger game, and technically they can't be duo. That's true. I just thought about that. So maybe they're not duo. But it is worth knowing, the funny thing, if you guys know, that Riot turned off duoing for Master and above, that technically hasn't stopped duo, and some people may be a little bit confused. But basically, when you're in higher ratings, there is limited amount of players that can be in your game. So, and especially if you play at weird times. If you play in the middle of the day, on a weekday, when people... I know, obviously, the world is in a bit of a different state, and people are at home more, but generally, people are going to be either in school, or they're going to be doing school work, or they're going to be at work or working from home in the day. So if you play in the day, on a weekday, there is less people in the games. If you're in higher rating, there's even less people as well. So if you're 2 people in Challenger, let's say, who play in the middle of the day... This game, by the way, was played earlier today in the middle of the day. if you play middle of the day, weekday, high rating, you queue up at the exact same time, the chances you get into the same game are extremely, extremely high. And obviously, you could go on the enemy team. You know, that's not guaranteed you're on the same team, but it's quite a high chance. And that's where worth also noting the whole win trading malarkey doesn't really exist in 99% of places in League, because in order to win trade, you need to consistently be on the opposite team game after game after game. So in anywhere below Challenger, win trading doesn't really happen because it can't happen. It statistically is nearing impossible to be on the enemy team most games. But when you're in Challenger, and again, there's not many people in the games, you're queuing up the same time at weird times of the day, that's where win trading can happen, or you can still technically duo with each other even though you're not duoing. But anyway, Gore Drinker complete, obviously, for Fiora. The item is still completely broken, by the way. The, what was it, a 4% nerf? It was 12% healing. It's now 8. Wasn't enough. Again, healing in League of Legends is still fundamentally what I would say broken. But anyway, Fiora going for a teleport play. Bard is trying to get away. The Sona will get the kill. Fiora is hunting a Bard, gets the slowdown. Camille is in the area. Will it be enough? Nope, does get the kill. And now Fiora's going to do her best, but is going to end up dead. Obviously, the Ignite by Camille, the one thing that will do is apply grievous wounds. But it's also funny that she's also bought anti-healing. So she's running Ignite, which also gives grievous wounds, 60%. And she's now bought a 40% grievous wounds item. But yeah. Anyway, enemy team gets the Yone. Annie goes for a Tibbers. Not much damage coming off there. And this game, again, looking really bad. Really bad for Fiora's team. Fiora's still nearly double damage. Double farm, though, which is pretty impressive. And she will respawn. Respawning with... so she got slightly magical footwear. We'll go over her runes in a second. Tiamat as well. And you remember, like, Huz, she's got no sustain. Well, doesn't really now need sustain when she's got a Gore Drinker. But as for her runes, which again, you guys can't really see, I don't think, so I can go over them. Grasp of the Undying, Demolish, Second Wind, Revitalize, then Inspiration, Magical Footwear, Biscuit Delivery, and Attack Damage, so Adaptive Damage, Armor. Fiora is grouping all the minions to AoE it down. So yeah, that's what she's running. Pretty, again, I'd say pretty much standard on Fiora nowadays. And, you know, some people might say she's an aggressive champion. Why not Conqueror? You don't honestly need it. The item build that you have on Fiora with her just kit does enough damage. What you need is sustain and survivability on the champion in order to do damage. So that's where going Grasp and the slightly tankier rune page is a lot of the time just better. By the way, there might be some matchups that you can get away with going Conqueror, but Fiora, again, Camille is known, nice parry. Again, this champion Camille is still known as the best top laner in the game, so you can't really disrespect the champion by going Conqueror, I would say. So they're looking to gank her. So again, remember, no flash on the champion. Yone using his E into the ultimate, CCing her up, and then just the complete damage burst absolutely obliterates her. But unfortunately for the Yone, an Ahri roamed, and obviously the one negative of Yone is people know where the E is going to snap back to. So again, Evelyn also top lane, with also the Bard. They have to be duo. Those two have to be duo. Lovely parry, by the way, by the Fiora, but there's just too many people top lane, and I would very much imagine the Fiora's dead. So yeah, these two to me, again, similar names, full caps, we're in Challenger. I would say they probably know each other, and they're doing the trick that I spoke about earlier, that they're just queuing up at the same time and duoing that way. But anyway, so again, Yone jungle, not working, not incredibly surprising. He's not a jungler. He's 0-4 right now. Team is doing very bad. 0-2, 0-2, 2 deaths also in Sona. But I will say, they scale quite well. You have still the Kai'Sa, who, by the way, is getting nerfs next patch. Finally. To me, it's been ridiculous how... Again, I know the balance team gets quite a bad rap. Some of it, I would say, is not warranted. Some of it, I'd say, is warranted. And leaving a champion like Kai'Sa in the state she's been for the past month or two is just been ridiculous to me. Meanwhile, Annie gets killed by the Camille. Very close to death is the Camille, but doesn't end up dead. But she's finally getting nerfs after having near enough 100% pick ban in like pro play and solo queue. Fiora's going to chase down the Ahri. And again, this no ultimate on the Ahri. She even flashes away. literally cannot get away from a Fiora. Obviously, she's bought Merc Treads now, so that helps quite a bit to not be slowed and such. But that's a really good kill. Getting a shutdown on the relatively strong Ahri, getting her flash as well, but then still getting the kill without blowing your flash because she didn't have it up. That's really good. So that does show the strength of Fiora still with this build and everything, and just the champion. And remember, she seems this strong this game with still getting buffs next patch. Anyway, 2v1 situation potentially going to break out. Fiora going to go all in with the healing of the Gore Drinker. I don't think she's going to survive here, but I could be wrong. Maybe if she had ultimate up, which she doesn't, but she's going to try her best. Look at the healing. Can she zig and zag? Yone going to go for the Evelyn, which should be getting a kill. Gets the shutdown, and maybe I'm wrong. She plays it really well. She dodges the E, and she survives. Really, really well played. Honestly, that deserves a little bit of a golf clap. That was fantastic. Ahri now trying to take revenge, just throwing the Ignite down straight away. Fiora going to try and do some life-stealing. Auto-attack the minions! Going on the Fiora! Oh my god, going on the Ahri! And will survive again, thanks to the healing. And also, obviously, the Yone being around. But yeah, the enemy team, what I would say, they have thrown their lead completely in desperation. They are so fixated on killing this Fiora right now that they're just throwing people in her one at a time, kinda. And that's what a Fiora wants. She's a duelist champion. She works by 1v1ing champions. In order to beat Fiora, like we've seen this game, you outnumber her. And they're not doing it. Like, even that, you know, Evelyn and Camille there, they never were really next to each other at the same time attacking. It was like Evelyn doing a bit of damage, Camille doing a bit of damage, and then Evelyn walked away. Yone went on Camille, on the Evelyn. So, yeah, kind of crazy. Annie's dead again, though. 0 for Annie. Not going very well for that player. And Fiora has decided to leave the top lane and maybe look to go make plays elsewhere? Question mark. There is a dragon up, so maybe she wants to be in the area so they can't do that. Yone looking for a bit of damage. It will not take too much. Fiora going to stay in mid lane with the Gore Drinker AoE, pushing up the lane, which is smart because that will distract the enemy team if they then wanted to get priority on the dragon. Item build, by the way, for Fiora, Gore Drinker into Hydra. Standard item build for Fiora nowadays. Yone going to go for the all-in with his E, just as a bit of damage, a bit of experimentation, you could say. And now even Camille is heading on over. Now, this is the thing. Camille could arguably get herself back in this game. She's still basically half farm. If she stayed top lane and just free farmed, that's a way that the Camille could try get back into the game. Fiora gets the tower, walking away. Enemy team don't want to fully commit on that because they are getting engaged on over here. Does go down, does the Evelyn. Lovely solar ultimate, and the Draven is going down by the Kai'Sa as well. Remember, this Kai'Sa was doing pretty bad earlier, but it is also a Kai'Sa. She will get killed in the end, but the enemy team is now really on the back foot. Fiora going to go for it as well. Gets the ultimate down, which can heal them all up. And that will be an overall win for blue team, giving them the dragon priority too. So, nice play by Kai'Sa. You'll slowly now start to see more domination from Kai'Sa, that she's going to be just outscaling the Draven. And that's the sucky thing. There's just nothing a Draven can do. He literally just gets beaten by a Kai'Sa the later the game goes on. He is designed to win lane. That's what Draven is there for, and he did. But the game's now going on. Obviously, Annie versus Ahri, by the way. This Annie has had a rough time, but it hasn't seemed to be in the 1v1. Like, Annie arguably is a counter to Ahri. And they, oh, lovely, giving blue buff. Again, Yone doesn't need it. But I've always used, meanwhile, lovely W, parries the Bard ultimate. Looks like an engage was maybe coming. If there's a Bard ultimate there, I would expect an Evelyn. Let's actually check. Was there an Evelyn in the area? Yep, there was an Evelyn in the area. Because why else would that Bard ultimate come out? But yeah, Annie I would consider a counter to Ahri, but they just ganked the Annie a lot, and then obviously the one negative with Annie is she's an immobile mage. If she gets ganked a lot, she's going to struggle. Bard getting all in by the Yone, don't think he has enough damage, and no, he does not. Fiora going to go all in on the Draven, by the way. Draven flashing away, but again, hard to get away from that, and both AD carries died to the top laner. Kai'Sa dies to Camille, Draven dies to Fiora, which is kind of weird and funny at the same time. And Fiora very soon, by the way, is going to hit 200 farm. Can she hit 200 farm before the 20-minute mark in any second? Yes, she does. So she has done more. Meanwhile, Bard mispositioning quite badly. Ahri damage doesn't seem to be that impressive on a relatively strong Fiora, which, if I'm honest, doesn't surprise me. Yone going to go for an all-in. Evelyn uses her ultimate to escape at the same time. So a trade of ultimates there, and nothing major will happen. Fiora staying in bot lane, though, which does surprise me. Because, again, the weakness of the champion is getting outnumbered. You're asking the enemy team right now to outnumber you. If you stay here alone, your team has got no map pressure, you're asking for it. That isn't a hard thing for me to predict at all. Evelyn taunts, but she does walk out enough in time. Probably should back off very soon. Has 3,000 gold near enough. And also, we have had some questions when I do challenge spectators. Huz, what is the yellow base? It's the challenger base. If you're challenger, your base is golden. It's not a normal base. It's the only rank in the game where your base changes. And it was something that they did do for challenger players. Anyway, enemy team getting a couple picks. Fiora teleporting in, though, into the Bard. Ignoring the Bard, going straight to the Draven, pops her ultimate onto him. He will go down, lovely W, and then moving on over to the Bard, which he then thinks about it, doesn't going to get to him and just stops. 1v1 bot lane. Again, even though this Camille had such a terrible lane phase, is still beating people. She's still killing the Kai'Sa that she just did, I think, twice. She's still killing the Yone, which she can do pretty easily, because it's Camille. That champ is still nuts. She is arguably overstaying, though. Really bad E, actually. She's going to get caught out. She's going to get slowed by the Sona. She's going to get stunned by the Annie into the Tibbers, and she will go down. Shut down for the Annie, which it does feel like she needed that. And by the way, the Annie has gone the Rocket Belt build. Some of you may notice. I don't do that build on Annie. I don't think it's bad on her, but I just don't think it's a feeling. Like, sometimes it just doesn't make sense other than a feeling. I just feel like the Luden's build does more damage. I don't know if mathematically it does, but it just feels like it does for me. And it also, to me, like, the Rocket Belt is really good if maybe you struggle a little bit with positioning. It can give you the extra little bit of positioning to get the Tibbers down. I don't think, if you guys have watched all my Annie games this season, I don't struggle with positioning. I've had some really good Tibbers this season already, so I don't think I struggle with that either. So again, mathematically, I don't know if it technically does more damage or not, but for me, it just feels like I do more damage with Ludens. Worth also noting the Fiora still over double farm of the Camille, and that's a combination of two things. One, the Fiora's farming really well. Secondly, the Camille's farming really bad. So it kind of looks a lot more than it should be. So then, yeah, it's just crazy how much some champions can farm. Meanwhile, they do get a pick on the Bard. They also get a pick on the Ahri. Camille now is fully engaging. Obviously, she only is going to engage, not really disengage. She will go down too. And worth also noting, again, that's without the really fed Fiora. So they are just beating them now. Arguably, they're beating them because of scaling. And yeah, they completely aced the enemy team without the fed Fiora. And that is, champion scaling. Annie does really well later into the game into champs like Evelyn and Ahri because she could just one-shot them. Kai'Sa versus Draven, 100% the Draven gets outscaled. And arguably, Sona even outscales Bard. Even, in teamfights, Bard ultimate is great. Sona ultimate is great. And also Sona's speeding up and healing her teammates at the same time. And obviously, Yone is an absolute monster as a champion when he gets a couple of items. And he's only... Oh, Bard's walked straight into the Fiora. Oh, she dodged the parry. I think she accidentally parried that, but it works, and she gets the kill. So unfortunately for Bard, there we go. And by the way, this is something that I've been told to expect. Remember, we are in a challenger level game. You now have a top lane challenger player buying Moby boots and buying troll items. Complete troll items that they are raging like crazy doing this, and they're a challenger player. These to me are the players. There are three groups of players. Let me know what you guys also think. It could be question of the day. 3 groups of players that Riot should be looking at like a hawk. 1, league partners, content creators, league partners. If any league partner does stuff like that, semi-regularly, even once, they should be punished. Because we're supposed to be the example. And there's a lot of toxic people in the League Partner Program, trust me. So that's the group number 1. Group number 2, professionals. So like actual pros. And I think they do kind of watch those. And then thirdly, I actually think challenger players should be looked at more than other players. Like, a challenger player should be looked at more than a silver or gold player. Because again, they are the peak. They are supposed to be the peak of the game. So when you have a challenger player, even on EU Northeast, doing stuff like this, like going AFK and now buying these troll items, to me that's pretty bad. And will this player get punished? Probably not. And some people say, oh, Huz, can you LPP report it? No, I can't. I can't league partner report things that are, like, thanks also someone just subscribed even though I'm not streaming. I can't LPP report something that's not directly involving my games. That's kind of the rule with LPP. So am I confident this Camille is going to get punished? No, not really. Again, it's why I like the league partner report system, even though it shouldn't need to exist because they should have a nice report system that works. It's good that it exists as long as league partners don't abuse it. And again, we can't really abuse it, by the way, because again, we don't have the power to punish somebody. We have the power to go, this was a toxic person, or this person was inting, this person went AFK, Riot, do you want to have a look at it? And that's all it is. And then we have a dedicated behavior support person that his job, it's not all to look at our reports. He's an actual behavior support person. But part of his job is to look through our reports and either verify them and go, yes, that person was inting or was toxic or did AFK, punish, or yeah, that's a creator overreacting. It's not bad, no punishment. So that behavior, the behavior professional makes the decision, but we can just get it in front of Riot because again, their report system isn't very good. So overall, I think it's good, but again, I'm not confident she will get punished. And this is a challenger level game. But it's not to kind of hide the point. This Fiora played really well, showing that you can be even the champion of top lane right now by playing in the right way. And Fiora's a great champ, and she's getting a buff. So I might even pull out Fiora when she gets that buff, definitely, because I think she's very good right now in the game. She can use Gore Drinker, and again, it's still too strong. Healing is still out of control. So, yeah. But anyway, that's going to be it. If you guys did enjoy, do throw a like on the video, throw a comment, subscribe. See you guys next time. Peace.